Hello friends, welcome to all. Today we are going to create a course on an SQL. So what is SQL? What is structured query language? What is query? How to write the query? What are the different types to write the query? What is the table? And so on. We will see in this course. So before starting to the SQL, we need to see some of the background for this SQL. So we'll start with the one topic that is nothing but the file system. So first is file system. So here we will see that what is a file system. So what is a file system? File system which is used to store the data. It is used to store the data. So suppose that you will having in one laptop or any type of a computer or system that you will have containing a different types of a file like doc file, like Excel file, or any type of an audio file, video file, and so on. For storing that particular file you require a database or you require a system that is comes under this, that is a file system. So this file system will be categorized into the three types, means how or where the files will be stored. So the first type is nothing but that is a DBMS. DBMS is nothing but the database management system. So database, the function of the database management system is nothing but the managing the data. So what type of data will be managed? Suppose you will having a data of different employees which are working in a company, but that data is in a scattered format, that is on the paper, but you need to give that proper format and you need to insert anywhere in the system. So that time you will having the database management system. Suppose that data is in a system but it is still in a scattered format at different places and you need to manage, recollect it, then it is comes under the database management system. For the database management system we will use the one term that is nothing but the SQL. So SQL which is used in a database management system, but this is not just a one type, which is also having two more types that are nothing but the second is RDBMS, and the third one is nothing but the DRDBMS. So these are also type which is having SQL as a subtype. So we will also see this one. So what is an RDBMS? Here R stand for relational database management system, that is relational database management system. So what is a relational database management system? When we are managing the relation between the two data, that is nothing but the relational database management system. So suppose that you will having some of the data and we needs to manage. Suppose it is having the four type, that will clear you all of the view. The first type is nothing but the 1 to 1. So what is an 1 to 1? Suppose you will having an one table, this table you will having in this table of the employee record, and 1 to 1 in a 1 to 1 relationship what will be happen? Suppose this is a column and from this one table you require the employee number and the name of the employee. So you will just copy by using the query language the data and paste into the other table. So that is nothing but the 1 to 1, means one table will functioning on the other. The second type is 1 to many. 1 to many. So what will happens in this 1 to many? Suppose that you will having one of an data the same column, and this time you require different you need to copy the data from in one column to many column. So that time you will first copy this employee number and employee name into the first column, and in second column you will copy that employee name and the employee salary. So this will becomes the one to many relation, means the data of one table is copied into many tables. So that is nothing but the one to many. The third thing is nothing but the many to one. So that is an C, many to one. The many to one is similar to one to many, means here we are copying the data from one table to many table, but in a many to one from a many table to one table, means it is somewhat similar. Then the last is nothing but the many to many, means what is many to many? Many to many, in the many to many, if there are more than two tables, suppose it is having more than two tables which is having this data, this type of data, and you need to copy that into a different format, means these are the employee number, these are the employee name, these are the employee number, these are the employee name. So means you need to create many tables from the many column. That time you will use this many to many conversion. So this is nothing but the RDBMS, when there is a relation between one or more tables. So this is the relational database management system. Then after the third type, that is nothing but the DRDBMS. D is nothing but the distributed relational database management system. So what is distributed? Distributed is nothing but the distributed along large area. Suppose that you will having one database server at India and one database server at Australia, and you are sharing the data between that server. That time it is called as a relational database management system. So we will take one example, like as in Google is having the bulk of or lot of the data. Storing that all the data at one server is really difficult. So Google had done or created many servers. So suppose one server is in India, other is in Australia. So when we are the person from India will fetching the data, if that is related or that data is stored in the server of India, it will redirect the user to Indian server. If it is stored, the data is stored in the server of Australia, then it will be redirect us to the Australian server. That's why the traffic of the person or accessing will be get decreased. So that is also the advantages of the relational database management system. So this is nothing but the DBMS, RDBMS and DRDBMS. So all of this contains one common type, that is nothing but the SQL. So we will see that what is an SQL. So SQL is nothing but the structural query language. So what is a structural query language? Structural query language means like as a C language. In a C language, what we will having, we will write in a C language code for any type of an function, doing any type of an addition, subtraction, or any type of a boolean operation or anything. We will write the code. But here we will write the query to store the data, to retrieve the data, to create the format of the data, and so on. Means this is a query language, means we will write queries for this. So this query language will contain the four types, means for creating the query or performing any type of an operation on that query, we require some sort of an operation. So that operation is nothing but, first one is, that is an DDL. So what is an DDL? DDL is nothing but the data definition language. Second is nothing but the DML, that is data manipulation language. Third is nothing but the DQL, data query language. And last, the fourth one is nothing but the TQL, that is nothing but the transactional query language. So we will see it one by one. What types of a command will be comes under DDL, DML, DQL and TQL. So first of all, data definition language. What is in the data definition language? Data means it is creating the definition of the data. Means suppose that here is a nothing, but if I will write that here ename, then after that EID, then after that salary. So and I make one of a table. So what will be happen? This is what will be happening. So I am creating a definition of the table. So it is creating the definition of the table. So it is comes under the data definition language. So definition means structure, creating the structure. Second is nothing but the DML. So what comes under this DML? DML is nothing but the manipulation, means change. Suppose we will having some sort of an data in it, that is an employee number 1, employee number 2, employee number 3, and their name A, B, C, and their salary 1000. Suppose this one is on this is on 20,000, 2000, and so on. Suppose we will having the data and we needs to change that name. Suppose by mistakenly I inserted B, but it is an D, so I need to change, means I need to manipulate the data. So yeah, all of the by using the such type of an command for changing the data, that is called as an DML, that is data manipulation language. Then after third one is nothing but the DQL. DQL is nothing but there is just one command in this DQL, that is nothing but the select. So for selecting the data, means I having the table, but I need to select these two columns. I need the employee ID and employee name. That time I will use this DQL language. So DQL is nothing but for the selection. So this is nothing but the for selection. And the last one, that is an TQL. TQL is which is used for the update. It is used for rollback or saving purpose. So it is used for saving purpose, means if you wants to save this data into the database, that time we will use this, or otherwise by mistakenly you will fire any queries, that is I updated this D by mistakenly, so I want to roll back, means I want to undo, that time I will be use this DQL command. So what type of commands will comes under this? So DDL, we'll start with the DDL. First is nothing but the create. So what is a create? In a create, we will create any type of a database as well as any type of a table. So we will just having some sort of an explanation in short what is a create and what all the command, and we will see the syntax, its example and other thing after completion of the introduction. So just we are seeing the introduction, which commands will be comes under all of these languages. So in a DDL, the create command will came. So what is the function of an create? Create command is nothing but to create the table or create the database. So suppose this is a table, for creating this structure we will use only structure, not inserting this value. only we requires create this type of a structure, we requires an create command. After that the next command is alter. So what is the function of the alter command? Suppose that we had created this table which is having the 3 columns, but suddenly I remember that I also need to add the address of the employee, so that's why this column is missing. So I need to alter, I need to add the additional column. That time I will use this alter command. By using the alter command I will add another column, so that is alter. Then after drop, so drop, suppose that this is a structure of the table which is having some sort of an data, that is an 1A 1000 and Pune. Suppose this is an data, this table is containing this type of an data, and I need to drop this particular table, I need to delete all of this table, means suppose I need to delete, so that time I will write a drop command. So drop command, there is a difference between drop and delete command. So when the delete command will came, I will tell you the delete. So drop command will be drop this table and it will shows you the empty thing, there is a nothing will be over there, so that is nothing but the drop. After that the next command is truncate. So what is the function of the truncate command? Suppose we will having any type of a table, suppose we will having one table is over here and we fire and truncate command on it, so it will just delete the rows of that table, all of the rows, it will delete all of the rows of that table and it will keep the structure as it is, means this is a structure it is having as it is, but the rows are deleted. This is the function of the truncate command. The next one is nothing but the rename. So what is a rename? Suppose this is a table, what is a cell? I don't know what is a cell, so I need to rename that table, so I need to do that salary. So that time I will use the rename command. So these all of these are the DDL command. We will just see the introduction to this command, we will see the syntax and example after completion of all of the command. So next is an DML command. What is a DML command? DML, first DML command is insert. So what is an insert? Suppose this is a structure of the data, this is a structure of a data and we need to add some sort of values in this table, so that time we will use the insert command, means we are putting some of the information in this table, so we will use the insert command. Then after next is update. So what will happen in an update? Suppose by mistakenly I had given 3 as a John, but John and salary is 25,600, but the salary of the John is nothing but the 40,000. So by using the update command I just change the salary to 40,000. So by update command will update any type of a field from the particular table. Then after delete, delete, what is the delete command? Delete command will be delete any type of a row from this column. So if you want to delete any row, then it will be using by delete. So what is the function, what is the difference between delete, drop and the truncate? So first of all we will see the delete. Delete will delete only the single row where the condition is given, it is according to the condition. So like this will be the structure. And what is in a truncate? Truncate will delete all of the rows from the table without giving any type of any condition, means the output will be shown like this. And the last one is drop. In a drop command there will be nothing, or here it will delete the structure as well as all of the data from the table. So that are the delete command. Then after merge, then merge command will merge the two columns. Suppose this is a first, this is a second column, and I want this like this, 1 comma Ajay. So that time I will use the merge command to merge both of the columns. So these are nothing but the DML operations or DML commands. Okay. Then after DQL is having only one command, that is nothing but the select. So what is the function of select? Suppose I want to find, there is a lot of list, there is 1,000 of the employees, but I want employee number 159, detail of an employee number 159, that is what is his name, what is his salary, what is his address, and so on. All of the data are present in the table. So that time I will use the select command, means I can directly fetch the information of 159 by just a single command, that is nothing but the select command. So that is a DQL. And the last one, that is nothing but the TQL, that is the transactional query language. It is having the three commands, that is nothing but the commit, rollback, and the save point. So what is the commit? Commit means, suppose I had inserted all of this line into any type of a table. So after firing this commit command, I will make it concrete, means I am confirming that this data is inserted by me. Okay, for making concrete change into the table, we will use the commit command. Then after rollback, suppose I insert the 5 rows in the table, then after I delete one row that is having 3 as employee ID from the table, but I remember that I need not to delete that, it is by mistakenly I deleted. That time I will fire the rollback command, and the data of the employee number 3 will be appears over here automatically when we will fire the rollback command. Rollback command will be works like an undo command in the Microsoft Office operation. Control plus Z, that is nothing but the undo command. So rollbacks is works like this. Then after that, the save point. What is save point? Suppose same example, suppose I had inserted this 5 record, after that I deleted this one record, that is of an employee number 5, deleted. Then I create a save point, then I again inserted the 2 more records into the table, inserted 2 more records into the table, but I want to see the previous table where the delete operation, after that delete operation. So that time I need to create a save point for it, and when we will call the save point, it will be shows us the output like this, that is at a first 5 line inserted, then 1 deleted, and after that the save point will be run, and this will be the output on the screen. So this is nothing but the TQL, that is a transactional query language. So these are all of the structure query languages which is used in the SQL. So in short, what we had seen today, what is the file system, its type, that is DBMS, RDBMS, and the DRDBMS. Then briefing of that. Then after we will start with the SQL which is having the 4 commands, that is the DDL, DML, DQL, TQL. So in a DDL we will having this 5 command and its function, then after that this 4 command, this single command, and after that the 3 command. So what are these command? So in our next lecture we will going to see what is the function of all of or each of the command, what is the syntax for it. We will take different types of an example on it, and we will go briefly to this command. So if any query, you can write to me in a comment box. I will try to respond you as soon as possible. Okay, thank you.